Hi there. Welcome back to the podcast where one unlucky individual gets to experience something he's never experienced before in his life. I'm Lee, and the unlucky participant is my friend, John.
Hello, I am Lee's friend, John.
Yes, it is.
A very unlucky man, but also quite lucky in other in regards as well.
Yeah.
So that's fun. How are you, Lee?
I am fine. Today is like a cool day for me.
It is, because this episode will be airing on the 10th of December. Yes, it will. Yes, of course. Which coincidentally is your birthday.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
Also, happy birthday, Lee.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
32.
God, how's
Had
it
to think
feel?
about that.
Same.
It's felt the same for years.
Yeah. Do you just get to a certain point where you just like,
I
oh,
just don't care anymore,
you just
like.
don't care anymore? Fair enough. When was that?
I don't know. Probably mid-20s.
Oh, right. Well, right where I am now.
I remember 30s. My mum was like, you need to do something. I'm like, nah.
No.
Too depressed. Nah.
I'm too depressed. Oh, dear. Well, I hope you're not depressed now.
No, I'm pretty good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. You know, well, I hope, because I'm obviously, as we've established, I'm also in my I'm in my mid-20s, so I hope, I'm kind of not dreading getting to 30, because it's kind of just a number to me as well.
Yeah, it's a number. It's fine.
So I kind of feel the same way. But, no, happy birthday, my friend, and I hope
Thank
you I hope you have a lovely day. And I hope the rest of the year in the lead up to Christmas is just as good as today's. So, yeah. What you got for me today, Lee?
Right. I've got a band for you which I've listened to for absolute years.
Absolutely years.
Yeah. And I'm honestly, I don't know how this is going to go, so I'm going to ask her. So, the band is Porno Graffitti.
Absolutely. My initial reaction when I saw that name on the list, when you sent me a bunch of songs to listen to for future episodes, I kind of went, oh, wow, okay. Not the most outrageous name I have heard, considering there is a band called Anal Cunt out there.
Fair.
And there's another crazy one as well, I think, from Russia or something. Is it Pussy Riot?
Pussy Riot, yeah.
Pussy Riot, yeah, that sort of thing. So yeah, not the most outrageous name, but of course it did raise an eyebrow. So yeah, Porno Graffitti.
Well, their name is actually based off an album. It's whose album is it again? Someone did a Porno Graffitti. Extreme.
Okay, great. Never heard of them.
You've heard a song, and I can't play it right now. Might have to take a break at one point and I'll show you the song.
Have I heard this song?
Yeah, there's a song on here that you'll definitely have heard.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. But yes, Porno Graffitti. A bit of an odd one, this one.
Yeah.
Bit of an odd one. It wasn't. For a start, when I listened to the first song, which was Melissa, which I'll get into in a second. I thought when it first started, I was like, right, okay, this is just gonna be another this is gonna be another thing that I'm gonna say the same thing about, and I'll try my best to get something out of it. But it was an odd experience, really. Because for a start, Melissa starts and the video starts, and the videos. I mean, while it is another odd looking sort of Japanese video where the clothes are very distinguished, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like you can tell that right, which way has it come from? Are animes inspired by like these fancy Japanese clothes, or are the Japanese clothes that these people are wearing, are they fully inspired by anime designs? Because
it's probably half and half.
Half and half, yeah.
I mean, they had to come from somewhere.
True, yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah. Because I can see the bleed over, and I was just like, God, these guys are dressed as if they're going to be going out to the opera or something, or like some big epic battle or whatever,
Japanese fashion's great.
It's quite funky. Yeah, like there's a lot of white pants.
Yeah.
A lot of white pants and a lot of leather jackets.
The song Melissa was out early 2000s, very early 2000s.
You can absolutely tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like here we are again, like the early 2000s. But I was listening to it and I thought I've written here, Lee, in my notes. Club singer, striving for a future career. Melissa, holy shit. Opening number of a Broadway smash hit. We're back here again at Broadway. We're back here again at theatrical numbers.
Funny you should say that.
Oh, go on.
This is an anime opening.
Was it really?
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, which is one of my favourite because I got a tattoo of it on my chest.
Incredible.
I got the Ouroboros on my chest. Yeah, that was the opening. If there's a bit of a pattern, so each of the past few songs that I've sent you for like each band,
right?
The first thing is the first thing I ever heard of them.
Oh, okay.
So each of the first songs I've given you were the first ones
Right.
I ever experienced with them.
Oh, incredible. Okay.
So I thought I would start with Melissa because it's the first one I heard, because when I watched Full Metal Alchemist,
that's the song.
that's the first song I heard.
Cool.
And nothing gets you more in a mood than a big gold bass riff.
Oh, absolutely. It was quite tasty. And what got me was you get past the chorus and like this weird little instrumental break, and it was like I was like, goodness me, it's quite a bouncy little jaunty number, it was very different, and I was like again, this is like it has those vibes of like, this is something that you would hear in a musical, and it was quite refreshing in a sense as well. It wasn't too like anything that I've heard from any of the other previous bands. It was fairly distinguishable. The costumes were ridiculous. I mean, it was like again, it was like The Matrix has a lot to answer for, doesn't it? Where
99, so
99, early 2000s, everything is cool with big leather suits.
Then again, Matrix is inspired by a lot of anime stuff.
Look, and you can absolutely tell when you watch Matrix. It's like, yeah, this is like clearly inspired by a lot of anime. But like, I mean, like the X-Men movies as well. Yeah. Like, instead of like putting them in the colorful outfits,
they're just leather.
They're just in bog standard like leather outfits, which is fine. I get it, but they missed a trick there, But yeah, it was interesting. It was quite a bouncy little number. I thought, again, a Broadway show-stopping number, opening track. I mean, yes, it's the opening track of an anime, but again, adapt these bloody things into Broadway shows, and then I'm telling you, you've got a smash hit. The second song, what was it?
Hitori no Yoru.
I've written here, suicide, dominating women.
That's
and black and white. But enough of my favourite things. It was a relief to hear something that wasn't the same soaring chorus. Oh wait, never mind. It was because it was like, again, this is when it started to get weird for me, because this band and the music video quite different from what I'd seen before, relatively quite creative. It was quite interesting instrumentally wise, like musical wise. I could understand the kind of thing they were doing. They were going a bit more something with a bit more rhythmic, a bit more hardcore going on here. But then when they get the chorus, they seem to fall in the same traps as with these other bands. Like the soaring chorus. And they all kind of sound the same, and it's like, I know it's difficult. Writing a good chorus is difficult, right? And writing songs that are indistinguishable from each other, again, another real challenge. But you've got to try. You know what I mean? It's like it just felt a bit like, it could be a bit more, but it isn't. It was irritating a little bit. I've got another song here, Romanticist Egoist.
Yeah, Romanticist Egoist.
Nice little number. Not too much to say on that one. It was kind of like, it was a nice little, because they tended to fall, again, I'm going to say this again, it tended to fall in the same traps of like, the slow ones start to sound a bit, Euro poppy again.
My dad thinks this sounds like Oasis. Romanticist Egoist sounds a bit like an early Oasis song, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's always said that to me when I showed him it.
That's very, very, very interesting.
The riff sounds a bit like Stand By Me.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? Yes.
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
Hear it.
I kind of hear it. Yeah, I know what he means by that. Yeah. But this was, again, was this an early 2000s song?
Romanticist Egoist. Keep on vamping and I'll tell you.
Because if it was an early 2000s song.
Well, Hitori no Yoru was 99.
Okay.
It was on an anime called Great Teacher Onizuka. It was actually made for that.
Okay. That's interesting, because if it was early 2000s again, like, that's kind of the
2000.
2000.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. God, 20 years ago. That's crazy.
I was gonna say this band's been going since 94.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that kind of, 90, like mid 90s, early 90s. That was kind of like, obviously, the Britpop heyday.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised if there's some influences coming from there, coming over. If it is like a bit Oasis-y influenced, then yeah, I kind of hear that. Yeah, I kind of get that. But again, it's like mixed with like what the kind of stuff that we've heard Before, there wasn't anything too indistinguishable for me anyway about it. But yeah, the Oasis comparison is quite interesting because I mean, I think Oasis were quite big in Japan. I think, like they did quite
everywhere.
So they were big everywhere. Yeah. Apart from America, Americans didn't get them. There's a few exceptions where, like, you know, they have their fan bases and stuff like that, but the Americans didn't get Oasis. You know, it's an interesting relationship with like British bands in America. If you
Blur fans,
they may have been more Blur fans. Yeah. Oh my goodness me!
Chair just kind of died on me there.
Sorry, I just thought we're being shot at.
This chair is like, I'm going to say at least 15 years old.
Goodness me! Honestly, I thought sniper. You know, get down. But anyway, yes. You know, that was the thing. It was I heard like to mention Green Day again from the previous episode. They said something rather interesting about bands in Britain and America, and they said if a British band makes it in America, they feel like they've made it. But if an American band makes it in Britain, they feel like they've really fucking made it. Because it's that relationship between like British music and the rest of the world, I think, like that. So you can kind of see the bleed over from, if that is the case, then maybe there was a bit of bleed over from like Oasis, who were like the biggest British band at the time, you know. So that doesn't surprise me at all. But no, it was it was a nice jaunty little number. Flag, yes. I've written here, funky guitar, finally something a bit different, but you can hear the Europop bleeding through. You can hear it sort of seething there in the background. So it's not quite there, but it's underlying. You know, it's sort of bleeding through the fault lines, to quote Doctor Who. You know, and this was an interesting one because I found it quite sexy. You know, there was a sexiness to it. There was like a sort of like a grittiness to it, you know, which I quite liked. You know, and it kind of, yeah, it was vibing to be different.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it succeeds for the most part. But as I say, you can hear the stuff that we've heard before, like, because like I think Japanese bands and musicians really fucking love Europop. I could be wrong on that, but to me it seems like they absolutely fucking adore it, right? And it influences everything they do. It's underlying in a lot of these songs, and quite so in this one, right? To the point where I've written down here, Lee.
Yes.
There's something about this band. It's like they're at war with themselves.
At war with themselves.
It sounds like Porno Graffitti are at war with themselves. It sounds like they're trying very much to like push and do something really quite different, but they keep getting pulled back by something, you know. And I don't know if it's like that thing of like, oh, we got to make like accessible songs, and Japanese people really seem to love Europop for some reason, and that's like the thing that's gonna make it sell. You know, I don't know what it is, but it's just it's like they're constantly fighting. Was like, well, this might be like the fun, easy thing to do, but we could also do something different. You know, it that's what it sounds like. It sounds like a struggle. You know,
I tend to think that Japanese tend to do their own thing when it comes to music.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. To me, it doesn't seem to have a genre. Like, some of these songs just sound like, to me anyway, like completely different. What you think? Oh, this sounds more like a rock song. This sounds more like a pop song. But it's like.
Oh yeah, like that definitely comes across. You know, you can definitely tell the ones that are like, say, like more rock orientated than the ones that are more pop orientated. You can definitely tell that. But there is, I know that you say, and quite, I think rightly so, that there isn't like, they don't confine themselves to one genre.
Yeah.
But it feels like they want to. It feels like the songs, the music kind of wants to do that, with like very similar choruses, very similar sort of vibes going on in certain points. And again, it's like Europop musical thing that they seem to do like quite well, you know. And I don't know, it's rather bizarre. Same video though, I think, for Flag, because you sent me a music video to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, quite different, isn't it? I've written here, Scorpion women. It was only a matter of time before we entered fetish territory. What was going on here?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No.
Like the band, they're doing the thing. They're like, we're some sexy young men, we're playing some songs. We've got our trench coats on. We're in this weird, what's the word? Warehouse. That's it. And several women around us, doing their thing where, they're like, oh, we're sexy women, we're doing sexy things and stuff. But one of them had a scorpion tail. Whoa, right. And he starts interacting with it and stuff. And it's like, oh, goodness me. I was like, is this a fetish thing?
I mean, that's probably tame for what I've heard from Japan. That's tame.
Is it tame?
It's tame.
Is there like...
Just you fucking wait, son.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. No, I can't. Is it like... I don't want to go delve into the cliches, but like it's not as bad as like say the fabled tentacle porn.
I mean, there's stuff that's worse than that.
There's something that's worse than that?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Great. I can't wait. Presuming that's...
Like, there's some anime out there which is like, it's not full on, like...
It's not fun.
It's not full on, but it's like, there is stuff there that's just like, this is fetish stuff. There's like a monster dating one where there's like a spider girl, there's a harpy girl.
Oh dear.
I've never watched it, I've just seen like some of the images and I'm like, someone definitely loves these.
Someone is really getting off to this. And it was, yeah.
And by spider girl, I mean, chest upwards is woman, then she has a big old spider butt.
Okay, right. Okay, yeah, that's full on fetish material there.
Yeah.
It was actually this reminds me actually. I remember once because I went through this funny little rabbit hole of watching this. It wasn't Vice, but it was a channel like that where it would do like these short videos on these really like odd people from like around the world who like oh, this person's a human magnet, or this person's like a 45-year-old baby or something like that, like where his body hasn't like physically grown past like that point, or like it's something strange. And one of them, oh god, it was horrible. It was a woman, a girl who was whatever, she must have been about like 20, 21 or something like that. So like, an adult woman.
Yeah.
Really loved dressing up as a toddler.
Yeah.
And as a baby. But like she had like a full on room dedicated in her house where she would like act like that. She would like make like, oh, it's horrible, like make like baby noises and like toddler noises and stuff like that. And a poor boyfriend, like, well, I say poor boyfriend, I don't know.
Probably into it.
I think he was probably into it, right? Otherwise, I'd have run a mile. He was like he was just like putting up with it and sort of thing, and like giving her like baby bottles and stuff like that, and I don't know if they went out in public like that, but she had like a massive cot. She would wear like nappies and stuff like that. But then when she was talking normally, she was all like, I'm not going to defecate in the diapers. That's just something that I haven't gotten around to yet. But yet, I'm not at that level yet. I'm like, I can't believe this is something that you're contemplating. Like, oh my God, no, it was just wrong. It was terrible. And then when I showed it to Tom once, because I showed it to Tom. And
our friend Tom, by the way.
Our friend, yes.
That's a new podcast. Our friend Tom.
Yes, our friend. He's worth a podcast in himself. The marvelous wonder that he is. But I showed it to Tom, and if he's listening to this, I'm sure he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And his reaction was just, he was going, oh no, like, oh no, like, it was just. Like, someone is definitely getting off to this. It was just, it was terrible, man.
I've been on the internet long enough to know that probably everything's got a fetish somewhere.
It was terrible. It was just terrible, man. And like, it just really reminded me of that a little. Well, not to that extent, obviously, but it's like, I mean, because we all have a bit of a tail fetish. Who hasn't gone through that period? Still waiting to go through it myself. But but it was just it wasn't as bad as that. But I thought, oh God, there is some shit on in the world, isn't there, man?
Yeah.
And people are strange people. People are strange entities. That's what, oh God, no.
I've been on the internet for the days of the Wild West. Like, yeah.
The days of the Wild West.
The Wild West where internet was unregulated. I've seen some shit, man.
Oh my God, yeah. And then it got regulated to like the dark web, didn't it?
Yeah, stuff got moved to there, which I've never been on, thank God.
I've never been on the dark web.
Idea where to start, and I don't want to.
No. It's fascinating though, isn't it, the dark web?
Oh yeah, surface, like stuff that's below the surface level. Like, you can find weird shit in the surface level of internet.
Yeah,
never
you
mind
can.
What's going on behind, but yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that as much as possible.
Yeah.
For the sake of my sanity and FBI, CIA, MI5. I'm just looking at my
all of the agencies. All of the agencies.
Just
I know.
give them peace of mind as well.
Yes, exactly. Yes, neither of us have been on it. Obviously, I think I know like a friend of mine like who shall remain nameless. But I'm sure he said like there was an instance where he was on or not him personally, but he witnessed to the dark web.
If you said it was him personally, I probably would have guessed one friend would have.
Sure. Sure. We just gave each other a knowing look, but no. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. It's crazy. Just the amount of stuff that's on there, obviously, which I've got no idea about. That's the thing. That's morbid curiosity, isn't it?
Oh, I think I'll happily stay ignorant.
Yeah. Happily staying ignorant. What a delightful way to be.
Ignorance is bliss.
It is. It's wonderful, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like the less you know, the better.
I said I've been in there long days. I've seen some shit, man.
Seen some shit, absolutely. No, but I mean, actually, no, I don't believe in that. Like, the less you know, the better. I think the pursuit for knowledge is something.
Wonderful thing.
It is a wonderful thing, and
this podcast is the pursuit of knowledge.
It is the pursuit of knowledge.
Different stuff.
Exactly, and the more it's like the more you know, the more enriching your life will be.
Broader horizons and all that.
Exactly, and I think that we should not discourage intelligence as being elitist or something that is only attainable by a certain amount of people.
To be fair, you've got to really have a really high IQ to enjoy Rick and Morty.
Oh, you do. You do, don't you? You really do. Oh, God, the fan base, man. Like, 'cause I actually quite enjoy Rick and Morty. I think it's quite...
Then the fan base.
Well, yeah, true. I kind of keep detached from that, really. I mean, because it's like...
I've seen it happen once before.
Really?
And I'm just keeping aware.
Yeah, like physically in front of you, or like...
No, like, I've seen fan bases go to that shit that puts you off stuff from ever.
I get that. I kind of get that, yeah. Like certain fan bases of certain bands just like sort of put me off, like that sort of thing. But like, so I understand that completely. But like with Rick and Morty, it was like kind of like, I think it's a really well written show. I think it's a very well written show, actually. I think it's very fun, creative, and perfect escapism. So that's kind of where I kind of view it. I don't buy into the whole thing of like, oh, it's like it's intellectual like bliss.
God, no.
You know, because it's not at the end. I mean, because it's like, I mean, is it well written? Yes, of course it is. But that's the least I expect from shows. You know, I expect them to be, but they're so few and far between now. Where you see things where there's like an actual good example of like visual storytelling and characters' arcs and not talking on the nose about how they're feeling or whatever. Where you can actually like dissect things a bit, but properly. I'm not talking about like oh, did you catch the Easter egg? Or like the only way to fully understand a show is if you watch the supplemental material that comes with it, or watch a guy explaining it on YouTube. No, that means that you either didn't pay attention to it, or it's a badly written show, right?
Like Star Wars, where most of the stuff was explained.
Well, exactly. Like I shouldn't.
Wikipedia.
Well, yeah, I shouldn't have to do homework, should I? Over stuff that doesn't matter. Because like that's the thing that people like saying that like all the stuff that really matters is like what is Darth Vader's suits? What is Darth Vader's fictional material that his suit's made out of? I don't give a shit. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't matter, is it?
Thought of that.
Well, yeah. Oh, there's an entire article. There's a video on YouTube by Red Letter Media. I recommend you watch it. It's hilarious. Where one of them like reads in detail all of the features of Darth Vader's suit and what it's made out of, what it does. Like someone took the time to create a full-on like document about what Darth Vader's suit is made out of, and it's absolutely absurd. Yeah, it's like, who cares? It's a costume from a movie. You know what I mean? The thing that matters the most is the story and his character. But we're kind of, losing sight of that a little bit, which is ridiculous. And also, there was a funny little thing in there saying he was he was put into his suit at the Sheev Palpatine Medical Center. that just wonderful? You know what I mean? It's just a big image of him, just like a statue of him just doing his Darth Sidious thing. And I think there was something written in like due to budgetary constraints, like he had to like have like a fail safe in his chest or something. It's ridiculous, man. Anyway, so Panic, Porno Graffitti.
Yes.
Yes, there.
We went well off track.
We went well off track.
I think it was like 20 minutes ago.
I don't know how I got onto that, but nonetheless, yes, fetish territory, quite strange. Right,
Teki wa Dokuda?
That's that took the words right out of my mouth. I've written here, they have an odd love of jazz, jitterbug, and jive music in general. And that's another area of Japanese music that was seemed to touch upon as well, is they seem to really love jazz. We kind of picked up on that through obviously Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
You know. But like this is like full on like jitterbug, like jive music, you know, and it's so strange where they take their inspiration from. Like they kind of like again, it's this thing of like knowing no boundaries, really, isn't it? Really, with like genre and stuff like that. I quite enjoyed it actually. Bizarrely enough, it was quite good fun.
It's a fun song.
It is really good fun. It reminded me a lot of the Princess Ice Cream song by Egoist. Yeah. Like those. I like it when they do that. I like it when they do like these really wacky out there songs, you know, with a clear thorough line going through it. Yeah, it was. It was good fun.
I mean, I should have sent you more of the wacky ones, to be honest. Like I said, these have been going since '94. I've got most of the albums.
Yeah.
And I was struggling to find at least a handful just to show you.
Yeah. It was. No, I think I got a good taste of like what the
cherry pick.
Yeah, well, what they're like, and it's it's another good example of just like good fun. Like I mean, you could dance to this sort of stuff. I quite enjoyed it. It was quite fun. And then there was the last song that I listened to from them was this song, Angry Bird.
Angry Bird, yeah.
Now I've written here, obviously nothing to do with the game.
No.
Which is unfortunate. Angry Birds. But I've written here, it had to happen. Full on Eurovision song. This is absolutely through and through a Eurovision banger. I don't know what else to say. It's because it started off with like the beat coming in. I was just like, oh, this is quite different. It's quite different. And then it kicked in. I was like, oh my god, this is like they've done it. We've come full circle. We've been teasing it throughout this trilogy of episodes where I've been talking about various degrees of Japanese music and bands and what have you. We've come full circle. They've embraced it. This is a full-on Eurovision song, and I'm advocating that the next Eurovision Song Contest, Japan is a guest entry, and they bring on Porno Graffitti.
They can take our spot.
They can take our spot exactly because oh my god, that was embarrassing, man, wasn't it? It was incredible. I mean, it was a terrible song to begin with, but we didn't deserve to. Well, no, he was a nice guy. God, I can't believe we got 0. Well, I can actually. Europe hates us, but they always have.
I mean, to be fair, I hate us.
Oh, I know. That's well, you know,
we're living on islands surrounded by shit.
We kind of do. We kind of are. But it's you know. But hey, we'll get on with it. You know. It's but yes, the Panic at the Disco. Panic at the Disco. Panic at the Disco have gone full Eurovision. No. Of course, Porno Graffitti have gone full Eurovision with this song. Everything about it, just the vocal melody, the fact that he's singing in Japanese sounds like it would be very much at home in the early noughties Eurovision Song Contest entry, and it would probably be a strong contender for it to win. I can imagine the Dutch angles and the strange camera angles coming in, you know, going from a sweeping shot to coming in to doing a lovely pan across the stage, tilt the camera a little bit, and then he's going to close up on you. He's going to look into the camera and go give a little wink, and then sing his song. You know, fully imagine it. Full on Eurovision song. Don't know what else to say on it. It was. I thought it was wonderful. Just because they're fully embracing it now. I mean, there must have been a day where they got together in the recording studio and thought, guys, you know, we can either embrace this or we can fight it once more. And I thought, let's just embrace it. Let's just do it.
I mean, Angry Birds only a couple of years old.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's a fairly recent song.
That is incredible.
They kind of went down in like albums list.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense a little bit now that you've mentioned that, actually, because you can hear when you listen to a lot of the stuff that I guess was like their earlier stuff, you can really hear like the early noughties like emo stuff coming through, because it sounds exactly like it. And if it came like out in like 2000, 2001, like that period, like that was when it was like at its peak. That track Angry Bird, it sounds a bit more modern. So yeah, if it came out a few years ago, I would fully believe you when you say that. But it's odd though, because it leans so heavily into like, for me anyway, like full on Europop. It's like it's a Eurovision song.
Yeah,
it is, and it's quite something quite magical about it, like, you know, something quite magical about all that.
Very magical songs.
Yeah, very magical songs indeed. Yes.
So you missed off one of the songs that was going to...
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is fine, because it relates to next week's podcast.
Okay.
Which is the opening to something I'm going to get you to watch.
Oh, amazing.
So
brilliant.
You'll have that to look forward to for next week.
I will. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I generally think you're going to enjoy this.
What you're going to get me to watch?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine then.
I mean, if anyone knows Porno Graffitti and trying to knows what I'm talking about, hopefully they'll probably guess what. There's a couple of they've done a few anime openings, but
okay,
this one's a more recent one.
Well, I'm very nervous, but I'm also very excited.
Yes, I am too.
You know, but I mean, Porno Graffitti, yeah. Why not? Let's see what else they've got to offer.
Yeah, would you listen to more? Would you listen to?
It's an odd one. I would. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
In a general sense. However, I wouldn't shut them off completely. I would have a listen to what else they would have to offer. Because I think they are quite a fascinating band.
Because they've got some more out there songs, the ones I didn't put on.
Yeah, you really do get that impression. But hey, man, if they do Asia Vision, and if they don't win, then there's something wrong going on there. Because they do it so well. Or even come out, as I say, be a guest in be a guest entry in the next Eurovision. I mean, Australia isn't a European, and yet Australia's in the Eurovision Song Contest. It's ridiculous.
They're right next door to each other.
Well, true. But exactly, they're right next door to each other. So like, just put them in. And then it would probably go down an absolute treat. And obviously Japanese music is not K-pop because they're not from Korea.
No.
But that music is all that the music from the East is all the rage at the minute. So
yeah, it's getting popular. A lot of more Eastern stuff's getting more popular, which is cool.
It is cool.
The amount of Korean stuff that's on Netflix right now.
Well, exactly.
I
mean, have we spoke about Squid Game?
I think we talked about a little. I don't know if we talked about a little bit the second or the first episode.
I think we might have done. Yeah, I thought it was.
I think it was the second episode because we're talking about subs and dubs, and you watched the.
Oh yes, that is true. That is true. Yes, and I said it was just fine. Squid Game's fine. There's nothing special about it whatsoever.
But it's cool that something that's not Western is getting popular.
Absolutely, and we need that diversity, man. We need that sort of exposure, just from other cultures, really. Just to see what else is going on. Because world cinema's fantastic, and it really. I mean, we know that from being film students. I mean, like seeing things like the French New Wave and. Run
Lola Run.
Run Lola Run, exactly.
That's my favourite of mine.
That's a really good film. That's a really, really good film. A personal favourite of David Bowie's as well, actually. And even like the cinemas of like Tarkovsky and things like that, and Kieslowski, like some masters of cinema, and even of course, even to bring it back to like Japanese culture. I mean, Kurosawa.
Yeah.
Who
inspired Star Wars.
He inspired so many. Great modern filmmakers. He's up there, definitely one of the greats. So I think it's vitally important that we listen to all of this stuff and watch a lot of it and experience it, because it enriches your life. Would I listen to it again? Probably not. But
you will if you hang around me.
I will if yeah, exactly. If something interesting comes out from these people, I will be more than happy to listen to them. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, next week I'm going to give you a break from music.
Thank God.
Opening, you'll be like, oh, it's Porno Graffitti.
Amazing, yes.
So yeah, I guess that wraps about on this one. So follow us on our Twitter, which is my friend John Pod, or my personal Twitter, which is Blank the Mage.
and my personal Instagram, which is _new wave.
Gets it right this time.
I do, yes, I do. I have to constantly remind myself that that's actually how it's said.
You reckon someone who has actually have the new wave just like, what's the people following me?
Yeah, literally. It's like, oh god, I've been mentioning it every week and I've got no new followers.
Oh well, yeah, I think that's about wraps it up. So
I think it is, yes.
Till next time.
Yes, farewell.
Farewell.